Hey, what is up guys? mltmagictricks here, and in today's video, I'm going to be performing and then teaching you this very clever no setup card trick that will definitely fool all your spectators. But before we get into that, if you are new to my channel, make sure you do subscribe for more card and magic trick videos like this, and also definitely give the Twitter account for the channel a follow. The username is mltmagictricks, and the link will be in the description to that. And guys, we are coming up on the 50,000 subscriber milestone, and once we hit 50,000 subscribers, I will be having a $50 Amazon gift card giveaway that will be taking place here on the channel. So once again, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe. And now let's get right into this card trick. Okay, so since this is a no setup card trick, I would start off by having my spectator shuffle up the cards as much as they want to until they are satisfied. So once my spectator is done shuffling up the cards, I would ask for the deck back, and I would instruct my spectator just to go ahead and take out a card because they are going to need to make a selection. So let's say my spectator chooses this card right here. And for the trick, if I had a spectator here, I would just have them look at the card because later in the trick, they're going to go ahead and tell me their selection, and you guys will see what happens later. But, since I don't have a spectator here, there's no way they could tell me the card. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. So in this case, my spectator's selection is the Queen of Hearts. So all I'm going to do here is just go ahead and place your card somewhere into the middle of the deck, just like this. And now I'm going to go ahead and just give the deck some cuts because I just want to lose your card somewhere into the middle of the deck, just like this. So at this point, with your card, somewhere lost into the pack, this is the part of the trick where my spectator would go ahead and tell me their card. So the card is the Queen of Hearts. And now all I need to do here, snap my fingers over the deck, give the pack a little wave. Now you guys will see that the deck is now set up to spell your selection. So watch this. I'm going to spell out the card Queen-Hearts, just like that. And keep in mind here, guys, my spectator would tell me their card right before I spell out, their selection, and somehow the deck was set up to spell their card just like that. The suit and the value, and sure enough, it's spelled out, the Queen of Hearts. And if you guys want to learn how to do this very cool no setup card trick, make sure you stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that performance, and I really like this card trick because it seems absolutely impossible to your spectator, and they will have no idea how you did it, and credit to Tags Magic for this effect. And now let's get right into the tutorial. So for this trick, you are going to need to remove 4 cards from the deck. These are the 4 cards you need to remove: the 3, 7, 8, and Queen of Diamonds. It's really not that big of a deal. Once you remove these, 4 cards, you're ready to go. And guys, I do understand this does make it a little bit harder to perform this trick with a borrowed deck, but there still is a way, and I'm going to explain how you do that right now really quickly. And also, guys, I'm going to talk about why you remove these 4 cards later in this tutorial. But now, if you are using a borrowed deck for this trick, you just ask your spectator, okay, can I see the deck? I'm going to do a really cool card trick, but before I start, I'm going to need to remove some cards, and you're just going to say, okay, I'm going to make sure there's no jokers or advertisement cards. And while you guys are saying that, you're going to go through the deck and just act like you're taking out the 2 jokers and then the 2 advertisement cards from the deck, but in reality, you're going to be removing these 4 cards. And obviously, make sure you don't show the faces of these cards to your spectator. Just casually take them out, put them in your pocket, face down, or just, place them face down on the table, and make sure your spectator, doesn't look at those cards. And obviously, if your spectator is really familiar with the deck that they're giving you and they know there's no jokers or advertisement cards, that might be a little bit, hard to do. So just to play it safe, I would, use a deck, your own deck with these 4 cards removed, just so to play it safe. But, if you do know your spectator has a deck where they're not sure if the jokers or advertisement cards are in it, you can certainly use a borrowed deck for this trick. But now let's get right into the tutorial for how the trick works. So once again, you're going to want to remove these 4 cards from the deck, and I'll explain why a little bit later. Now at this point, you're ready to go. So you can have your spectator just shuffle up the cards as much as they want to until they are satisfied. And once your spectator is done shuffling up the cards, you're going to ask for the deck back, and you're going to be spreading out the cards and basically have them make a selection. But as you are doing this, you're going to need to count off 10 cards. So I think the easiest way to do this is simply, just spreading the cards in your hand here. Count off in packets of 3, just like this. I think that is the most, the easiest way to count off 10 cards. You're going to just count in your head 3, 6, 9, and 10. And you're going to watch this break here, in between the 10th and 11th card. So just keep watching the plays, memorize memorize, where the separation is, because you are eventually going to need to get a break in between the 10th and 11th card. But at this point, you're just going to cover the top 10 cards here with your thumb. Make sure your spectator does not choose any of them, and just have them go ahead and choose a card from the deck. It really does not matter, except, they cannot choose one of the top 10 cards. Now at this point, once your spectator has made their selection, you're going to go ahead and square up the cards here and make sure you get a pinky break under the top 10 cards. You're going to just go and square up the cards casually and tell your spectator to look at their card. And this is the really great part about this trick. You do not need to see their card here. They just look at it, but for the tutorial here, we'll obviously go ahead and turn it over. But like I just said, when you're doing a performance, you are not going to see the card. So at this point, we have the 9 of spades. And now once your spectator has looked at their card, you're going to go ahead and tell them just place it in the middle. And all you guys are doing here, you're just lifting up on the packet of 10 cards. Now at this point, your spectator is going to think, nothing suspicious is going on here. They're just placing their card in the middle. It's roughly the middle. Obviously, 10 cards is not exact, but to your spectator, it will look like it's fair. They're just placing it in the middle. So once your spectator has placed their card in the 11th position, you're going to go ahead and place the top 10 cards right on. Now, at this point, you need to keep their card in the 11th position from the top of the deck, and from here, the easiest way to maintain it is just do some false cuts. So you guys can do any false cuts you want to, and luckily yesterday I posted a video showing you guys how to do 3 very useful and effective false cuts, and the link to that video will be on the screen right now. So if you guys are not familiar with how to do really any false cuts, definitely check that video out and learn some false cuts, because I think doing cuts here, false cuts makes it a lot better, because it really looks like you're mixing up the deck, but in reality, you are keeping the order of cards. You're keeping the top 11 cards, in order, because you need that for the trick to work. So at this point, once your spectator thinks their card is lost somewhere in the deck, this is where you ask your spectator what their card is. And now I'm going to basically explain the secret to this trick. So in this case, our card was the 9 of spades. You're going to have your spectator would tell you that the card is the 9 of spades. And now this is where you need to think of the letters of the card and what those letters add up to. So I'm going to talk about what I mean right now. So 9, the word 9 has 4 letters, and then spades has 6 letters. You're going to think to yourself, 6 plus 4 is 10. Because basically, guys, the way you're going to spell the card is you're going to reveal their card in the 11th position. So in this case, the card 9, the 9 of spades has 10 letters if you just do 9 and then spades. And guys, there are going to be some cards where you're going to include of, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the tutorial. I'll give you guys some scenarios in a second, but right now we have the 9 of spades. So 9 spades, that's going to be 10 letters. And now you're going to tell your spectator, okay, you're going to spell out the suit and value of their card. In this case, you're not going to spell out of, because then we'd have too many letters. You don't have enough cards for that. So let's go ahead and spell it out. So we have N-I-N-E, then you're going to go S-P-A-D-E-S. So at this point, we have 10 cards here. And then, the 11th card is going to be their selection. So that is a way, in this case, with the 9 of spades, that's how you would reveal the card. And guys, I do have a little cheat sheet here, so you guys can just look at this. Obviously, hearts has 6 letters. These are just the amount of words in each suit, each of the suits in the deck. So this is just a little bit helpful if you guys in getting how many letters are in your spectator selection. So guys, that is just one scenario, and the reason you remove these 4 cards from the deck is because there's no way, with the amount of letters in the suits and values of these cards, there's no way you can reveal their card in the 11th position. There's just too many letters in these cards, so that's why you remove these 4 cards from the deck. So I hope that made sense here. I'm going to go over a couple more scenarios of cards that you could have in the 11th position right now. So let's go ahead and do that so you guys are on the same page for how this trick works. So let's say here we have the 2 of clubs in the 11th position. I'm just going to go ahead and take out the 2 of clubs really quickly and just show you guys a little difference that could happen when you're performing this trick. So we have the 2 of clubs right here. Let's say we have the 2 of clubs, in the 11th position. Let's, the 2 of clubs would be your spectator selection. So we know 2 has 3 letters. OF, that's another 2, so that's 5. Then clubs has 5 letters, so 5 plus 5 is 10. So now this is an instance where you can include the word of. So you would just go TWO. OFCLUBS. Right after you do the S, you go ahead and reveal the card. So there are, a little bit of differences in how you reveal the card depending on what their selection is, because it all depends on the amount of letters in their selection. So make sure you guys, keep in mind how many letters the suit has, the value, and then make sure you guys keep in mind of if you want to include the word of when you're revealing the card. So this trick does take a little bit of practice before you go out and perform it to your spectators, because there are, different possibilities. Obviously, obviously of what card they choose, and that, changes how you spell out their card and reveal it. So I hope this tutorial made sense for you guys. And once again, you are going to remove these 4 cards from the deck because you cannot do any combination to reveal their card in the 11th position. Just play around with this trick. Give it a couple, practice runs before you go out and perform it to your spectator, because you do need to, keep track of the letters right after they reveal it, because, there's not a lot of time right after they say their card before you go ahead and spell it out. And it's just really cool that all the cards except those 4 that I just showed you basically allow you to reveal the card, their selection in the 11th position. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for this tutorial. I hope everything I explained made sense for you guys. Go ahead and rewatch any parts of the tutorial you need to in order to fully understand this trick. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the trick. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this trick. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace out.